Warning, the program you are about to hear contains unsolicited opinions, dangerous misinformation, and a blatant disregard for your attention span. Please don't listen to this. Your life depends on it.
What do you do with
Alright, picking up background Mario Odyssey audio, this is the pilot episode of Please Don't Listen to This, Your Life Depends on It. And we are going to talk about how it's really stupid to try and set up two mics to do one thing. It's impossible, apparently. No one has ever done it before.
Can I tell Alex about the meme?
Yeah, tell them about the meme.
So, a clothing website had a women's shirt that they were selling that was called the podcast co-host top.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Which is like, how would you know that anyway? Because you can't see them wear it if you're listening to
That's
it.
a very good point.
Well, some podcasts have video.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it.
Speaking of podcasts without video,
Here we are.
Can we get an intro?
Recording a podcast.
Can we get an intro? I don't mean like we're not gonna like. Insert the theme song here, or we could, but can we? Everyone say who they are at least. I'm Nick. I'm technically the host, but anyone could dispute that.
Yeah, fuck you.
That's Seb, because she doesn't want to introduce herself.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm Cam.
I'm Alex, undisputed Mario Odyssey champion.
And also
Unchallenged.
host until he tells us otherwise of a podcast that he will not disclose any information about.
He runs Giant Podcast.
Oh shit, that's you?
Yeah, he's the Giant Bob.
He's the giant.
I am the titular giant bomb.
So I have so many questions.
Yo, bro, get that.
What was it like working for
trying to get that in
GameStop?
Oh my god.
That's a cut. I don't know. I feel like we were talking about it on the way here, but the trend for podcasts seems to be moving away from structured content and more towards I want to be in a room with a bunch of people dicking around.
Well, actually, to that exact point, Scott Ackerman just launched a new podcast that's just him, Paula Tompkins, and Lauren Lapkus.
It's called Freedom, right?
Yeah. So they're not doing characters or any comedy. They're just talking.
I think it's fine for
not
now.
doing any comedy. So
I think it's fine for now, but maybe we should eventually put like a moratorium on talking about things we heard on other podcasts.
That's all I know.
Okay. I was going to talk about
all we can talk
All my
about.
knowledge is based on.
will like kind of meanders around for a while, and then they'll have like kind of a structure. Like it's like a loose one though. It's like intro, what's everybody been playing, and then that'll shoot off into other things, and then
Well, that's new. I didn't even need the second dive.
Wow.
That's how the pros
news
do it.
and releases.
Cam is playing Mario Odyssey while we are recording this, which is where that audio is coming
You're
from.
picking up some new tech.
I'm trying to
I don't know if I can
expand
hear that. It's pretty quiet.
We should turn it up so that everybody.
so that the only thing they can hear
He
is...
is
should
playing
share with
with the
the class.
controller right towards the mic, so I guarantee you, even if the game audio doesn't pick up, the clacks of the controller will.
Clicks and
I
clicks.
think by the time this is over, Cam's not going to be able to turn his head back around.
My head already severely hurts.
Yeah, this does seem like a kind of a terrible idea.
Podcasting is hard.
You could scoot the chair back and then just
or
face
you
us,
could, like,
so that way
not
you're not.
play a game
That way you're
while-
not faced
while
all the way
recording
around.
a podcast.
Yeah, you don't have to do both of those at the same time.
I don't know. I think we do.
You could.
Isn't that how everybody does podcasts?
Oh, that's not a thing that you put this in. It's a.
Where do you put that thing?
You gotta put.
Oh.
This makes for great audio.
Okay.
Well, if only they could see.
So,
Yeah. If only there was a way to share video.
Yeah. Well, I've never heard of that, so we can't do it.
Get on that.
It must not exist.
since you and I have been the only ones to read that comic,
Yeah.
do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
I do want to talk about it a little bit. We have it right here for visual aid.
Here, I'll read it to them. That way they know what we're talking
Our
about.
listeners can
Once upon
visually
a time, there
watch
was a
the.
Batman.
Uh-huh.
He went into the digital world. The Joker was there, and he beat him. The end.
Yeah, to say the Joker looks like an N64 model is not doing it justice.
Oh no.
Digital justice.
It's not doing it digital justice.
Whoa!
The comic
Title
Batman
drop.
Digital Justice by Pepe Moreno, or if he would like to tell me to pronounce his name a different way, I invite him to come on this podcast.
P.P. Moreno.
Hell yeah.
P.P. Moreno.
Moreno means brown in Spanish.
Yeah, so...
Does it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Alright, so there we go.
Can't
That's
dispute it. Unless you look it up.
undisputed.
Undisputed
Yeah.
Spanish king.
Yep. I know Spanish.
So the reason that I picked this for... Oh, well, I should probably sort of introduce the format of this stupid thing. The format
There's
that
no
we
format.
the format that we eventually ended up deciding on, thank you, Seb, is was the was Cam is showing his phone to us.
Oh, yeah.
To tell us that Moreno means brown.
Here, I'll get it on audio.
He's got proof.
Thank
There you go. I didn't say that. Oh wait.
Brown.
There.
The format of this was just supposed to be that every time we record, one person picks a piece of media or topic and then subjects everyone else to it. Because even though we're friends, we have extremely diverse...
Are we friends?
I mean, okay.
We have diverse liking of each
Yeah,
other.
we have a diverse liking of each other and diverse liking of things. Alex, you just maxed out the audio.
This is the Toon Squad logo.
The Toon Squad?
Toon from Space Jam.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see it.
That's
Okay,
it
so
right
the
there.
Space Jam logo is in this comic.
It's
I
on the
don't know-
first page.
Yeah, so this thing was
yeah,
written
first
in 1990, and it was made entirely with computer graphics, which to someone like, which doesn't sound like much now, but like in 1990 that meant you had to make the whole thing in Mario Paint, and it's insane.
There
to
is
look
one part where Batman has to jump across a bunch of animals and it plays Smash Mouth.
at. See, and because nobody else will ever read this, we could make that up, and you just
It's
have
so
to believe
long.
us.
Like, I know
Listeners,
you
you gotta
wanted me
take
to-
our word for it.
You wanted me to read this, and I do want to read it, but it's so long. It's
really-
really
That's
long.
really not that long of a comic book.
I will pick
This
something
is like
shorter.
a trade, though.
If we ever record something ever again, I will pick something shorter. I think when Alex gets around to his thing, we was gonna do Gunbuster, which is a
Yeah,
short.
that was definitely an idea.
That's a short watch. Like if we do the first episode of the first two episodes, it's like under an hour. I actually don't remember how long that is exactly.
And it's also
But,
easier to passively watch something.
Yeah, it's easier to passively watch something. And with Gunbuster, it's like you can get it illicitly, where there is no torrent on the planet Earth for Batman Digital Justice.
Yeah, but
No,
you do have the physical.
We're not
Yeah.
supposed to be promoting illicit.
We can promote.
I didn't.
I will
promote
say
it. I just said that it's
Stealing is good.
Don't download illegal things.
Can we get that clean?
Pirate
Stealing
Bay
is
dot.
good.
What are they using right now?
I think
Okay.
they're using org right now, actually.
Org?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, it was
Like
like
the Sea Org? Like it's a Scientology thing?
Yeah.
organism is what it stands
Yeah.
for.
Pirate Bay's become an organism, right?
It's alive. Oh
At
boy.
this point, I wouldn't doubt that.
That's basically the plot of Seven Eyes comic.
It's basically
Yeah.
the plot of this.
Yeah, okay.
Pirate Bay
it's
is
honestly,
alive.
It's
It
honestly,
takes over the world.
Batman
honestly
Digital
not.
Justice, all about piracy.
It's really
Yeah.
Batman Digital Justice. Like the crimes that take place in it is basically like police robots that look like hovercrafts are murdering people, and it's because of a virus that is the Joker, and the Joker looks like a bad 3D render because he is a bad.
Because he
3D
is
render.
bad.
So wait. Let's summarize the whole comic, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right. So basically, in the 2000s, what is it? What year is it? It's like 20.
Oh god.
It says in the
20XX.
next century. Oh
Yeah.
no.
The next century to them is this century.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
this is made in 1990. It's like 2020 or 2030
Yeah.
or something like that.
In
And-
10 years from now, a bad 3D model of the Joker infects the police force's computers through the mayor and causes all kinds of problems. And
They're
that
murdering people.
And murdering people with police robots.
Yeah.
And everything is so computerized that the Joker could get into everything. And this is where it starts to sound like Black Mirror from 30 years ago, where it's just like, oh, what if computers but too much? Like, oh well, because of all this technology, everyone's...
Black Mirror is better than that.
Well, okay. I'm definitely not giving it enough credit. There are
You
episodes
should
of that show that I like.
watch it. Yeah,
I've watched some of it. I enjoyed some of it.
it's good.
Just note for all the listeners out there, that is my 4th moon.
I can't even get one mood in this video game.
Alex providing some color commentary. Someone who absolutely refused.
Hey,
to
someone
take
should have
part.
provided some color commentary in this book. Right?
There are a lot of colors, and
It's
we
too
can
many
use some
colors.
commentary.
Yeah, the
The
colors
first-
are mostly the colors that are very popular right now, actually.
The first
Yeah.
spoken word is bleep.
Yeah.
Which is
see.
very
Actually, that's not
appropriate.
spoken.
Comics.
That's
Spoken
automated.
by a computer.
No,
It's some
generated.
shit.
It's computer generated. All the text is computer generated
Oh
too.
my god. You
Also,
can see the
for a-
outline on
For
most
a
of these
Batman
guys.
comic, Batman doesn't show up until like 75%
Yeah,
of the way through.
dude, I was like the whole time I was reading it with Nick, and I was like, "Where the fuck is Batman? Where is Batman?" It's just because the main character is Commissioner Gordon's like grandson.
Yeah, we
Oh my
haven't even
God.
gotten into that yet.
Nepotism.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, he's not the commissioner at least. So,
Oh, okay.
How are we on spoilers?
oh god, nobody's
Yeah,
gonna read
don't
this.
spoil
Okay.
it. I'm trying
yeah,
reading
so
it right
Commissioner
now, though.
Gordon's grandson ends up
It'll be-
being Batman.
It'll be different if we recommend something
That's
good
deep.
later, but I think we should have a very lax policy on spoilers,
Yeah.
especially for this.
I
Yeah.
can't get past the first page. Maybe because I'm trying to read this and listen to you guys, but
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
put it
you
You-
looked
I'll
at
skim
it.
through it.
That's
Yeah.
all
I'll
you need.
skim it right now.
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
the
like-
whole thing about it, the biggest novelty about it is the
That's those
novelty.
moons going there, dude.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Crushing.
turn around to
Absolutely
see how
crushing.
good
The
you're doing.
plot is shit. The art is shit. Everything about that is shit.
It's too
except
long. There's
that
too
it's
many
from
words.
1990 and
Yeah,
completely.
I appreciate that your biggest complaint is that it's too long.
It's so long.
But, I mean, that's a legitimate
They
complaint.
don't have page numbers, or I'd get out another comic book and complain about how long this is.
Alright, okay.
Regular comic books are 22 pages weekly. Weekly.
Weekly.
Or not weekly, monthly.
Monthly.
Anyway.
No, but
It's
I'm
like-
saying, was this sold in issues?
I don't think
No.
so. It was just sold in that big hardcover that
It
you're
Right.
holding
It
right
certainly
now.
does have issues.
Oh,
right?
nice.
Yeah,
It was
does
sold
have some
with issues,
I mean, it's
but
got
not-
like concept art in the back and everything's like, this is
Yeah.
how we designed it. But it's like,
Whoa,
if
the
you
last spoken word is bleep.
Full circle.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
So, the end
oh
of-
no.
Speaking of spoilers, the end of this book is where things get like even crazier than they were before, because like sort of has an ongoing theme up until right at the end when it's like, okay, we got to shove as many Batman based elements into this as we can.
Yeah,
Like,
so the pop star who's been like a center of some things
Oh, do you remember her
in
name?
the comic, it was Gata. Because
Gata.
it's Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
For, it's
Oh, hold on. Can we
feminine
get Cam's
Spanish
phone to
version
read
of
that
Yeah,
out?
it's Spanish for brown, actually.
But yeah, so she's been in the whole thing.
Brown.
Commissioner Gordon's grandson. What is his actual name?
Oh,
I think it's
yeah.
Just call him Gordon.
Here, it's right here.
Uh,
Mr. Jones.
That's not his name.
I read the first thing
Is this an
myself.
Indiana Jones prequel?
Whoa.
Yeah. So
Would you have been
Indiana
interested in it
Jones's
if it was?
No.
grandson.
Take these
So
cues,
he's
test
like-
them on your boys.
Oh, he's supposed to like protect this pop star Gata, right? And she's like such a bitch about it. Like he just prevented her from being killed, and she's like, "I have my own bodyguards, you dickhead." And then when Gordon starts being Batman, she's like, "Fuck Batman! Now I'm Catwoman, and I'm gonna get him."
I think the line is
For no
actually
reason.
the line in there somewhere is like, who was Batman anyway? Do some research on him. Who were his allies? No, wait, I don't care. Who were his enemies? And so she like tells an intern to Google search who Batman's villains were, so she can dress up like a cat and then make out with him at the end of the book for no reason.
Wait, but is Gata... Would you say that for female cat? Because cat, I know, is Gato. Or
Yeah,
Gato.
Yeah,
because,
you
but
can feminize
it's,
words.
It's El
Yeah,
Gato.
but I wonder
which
if
is
that's one of the ones
masculine,
you're
but because
supposed
she's
to.
feminine, they made it Gata.
Right.
Sponsored by Alcohol.
Oh my god, this guy puts some of the bloody mess of a former person into his like handheld label maker to check like who it was.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
And,
that's,
like, it's
Dude,
the same.
They're all so desensitized.
It's the
like,
same JPEG
one of the
that
guys
picks it up
under
off the
Gordon,
ground.
like so some of the guys they get like blasted to pieces, and him and
That's
his like partner
insane.
just like
yeah.
what a day. See you later.
Yeah, so that's one of the other things, right? Like, that could totally work if it was done in, like, a Judge Dredd style of the whole point is how desensitized we are, and that we can look to the past and we can find value in the things that are there. But this doesn't even, like, I don't even want to say it doesn't have time because it's way too long as is.
Oh
But,
hey,
like,
they wrote a review of the book in this guy's speech bubble.
What does it say?
He says, "Call a human. This is stupid."
Whoa. That's really meta.
Yeah,
is
that's
pretty
funny
bad.
that he's commenting on the book in the book.
Yeah, like, there's definitely a place
Is that
for
the
the kind
Undertale
of
of
commentary.
Whoa.
For
Oh
the
my god,
kind
it has
of commentary
chapters.
they want to make, but it's just not there. Like, it's half Batman Beyond, half Tron, and half Judge Dredd, and none of those things work.
They also add up to more than one.
Well, yeah, it's added up wrong. That's the whole problem. Like, it's just not put together.
Something just doesn't add up.
Something just doesn't add up. And like I honestly can't even blame Alex for not paying attention to any of the stuff we're talking about. The reason in particular I wanted him here is because what they think a computer will be like in 20 years is so funny in this book, where like you have to hand a floppy disk to someone to like put a hologram on screen.
Yeah, but there's also a point where he also has a disc.
Yeah.
I'm like, you think you're gonna have two different kinds of this
Like the
storage
media.
technology?
Media? Well,
One
we
that's
kinda do.
already-
Yeah, floppy disks and CDs still coexist.
Well, we're playing
today.
right now on a cartridge, and we still use CDs.
Yeah, a retro cartridge. They
Right.
brought it back
Yeah.
from the dead.
Playing a 2D Mario game and a 3D Mario game right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Appreciation for the classics, I see.
you know what I'm talking about. Like we use different media storage
I mean,
yeah,
devices.
I guess
still,
it's
it's
Might
not
as
all
well just be a
discs.
floppy disk, right?
I was waiting for the point where like how there are vinyl purists for music, just people to do the same thing but be completely wrong about how like it's like, oh no,
Oh, because
I want this.
magnetic tape is so much better than an optical disc.
Okay, but I mean like in the sense of, okay, someone's like, oh, I want to store this file, but modern storage systems are so stupid. I want to go back to the classics, and they're just holding like a ton of floppy disks trying to
Yeah.
get one.
I guess
document.
because it's the storage system and the interface. Like
Yeah. Okay, you're getting to where
interface
Joker is
still-
appearing now, Cam, and I want you to look at that
I
left
see
page,
that.
that right page, the top left, when he's forming. It's like, how do we illustrate that the Joker is messed up? It's like, let's take this bad 3D model of him and stretch it
it's
out.
speaking of Mario, it's literally the Mario 64
Yeah, show that to Alex. Show
thing
that, show
where
that
you
to
can
fucking Alex.
stretch your face.
Ooh, that's really good.
This is what he looks like.
That's really good. 10 out of 10.
I don't know if. I'm in chapter 3 right now.
Yeah.
It's the real him.
Yes. She's not a part of this and would not be a part of this no matter what.
We should call her
Like,
so she
please-
can be on the
please
podcast
no.
right now.
Please do not.
Okay.
Oh, they added in a new perspective, which is interesting.
Yeah, they try. Maybe not enough, but they try. The whole thing with this book is that it's just really,
I don't know. He's Sergeant James Gordon.
it's unique, but like it's not like its uniqueness isn't enough to make people remember it. You know.
Yeah.
It's weird and it's special because it's weird, but it has no like redeeming qualities other than that.
Yeah.
And
It's the classic. You should like this because it's different, but different isn't good. Like it's
Yeah.
like, but we're doing
Yeah.
things that are
Thing is,
completely
like,
different than other comic books. Like,
I think that this is a good showcase of what, like at the time, computer-generated graphics could do. Which
yeah, I think this is
people
actually kind of a
weren't
great
super-
example of that.
Yeah.
super familiar with. And what did I say? I said this about a movie recently from like the 90s or early 2000s about like
Are
the
we
CG
talking about
effects.
Reboot? That's what.
Yeah,
I think we might have been
we
bringing
were
that
talking
up.
about Reboot, and I said that if they didn't try it, it would never get better.
That's
yeah,
fair.
you gotta fail it. That's why we're doing this. You
Yeah,
gotta
that is
fail
why we're doing
miserably.
this.
Exactly.
So that when my coworker asks me, "Hey, did you record that podcast you were talking about?" I can show him this, and then he'll never ask me about it again. That's what I really want.
Oh my god, this like they show Robin on the motor.
Shout outs to you, next coworker.
Yeah, shout outs. Come on the show.
Yeah,
He's
Robin
gonna-
has a hoverboard in this.
He's on the hoverboard, and then the next panel is zoomed in on the image that you just
He also
saw,
still
which
doesn't
they
have
do a
pants.
lot.
That's another thing with like Robin, right? So they do. So with him and with Gata, Robin in this book is like a teenager that lives in the apartment complex that Jim Gordon lives in.
We like
Oh.
supposedly
That's
adopted.
some
Yeah,
serious
yeah,
lore.
allegedly. But like he has shown no like affection beyond like just barely getting him out of a street fight and like talking to him once in the book. So there you don't get any sort of sense that like, oh, these two have a lifelong partnership, and I bet they would fight crime together forever. They're such great friends. But and like they do the thing at the end of the book where it's like, well, I'm sure the future is safe now that the future has a Batman to protect it. It's like, wait, but he didn't do anything. Like, he didn't even solve the main problem. Like, the main problem is fixed by the old Batman who put his mind on a computer. Like,
Oh, is that what's? I'm gonna.
yeah.
What's happening?
Okay, so you're towards the end of the book right now, and what is happening is Bruce Wayne Batman put his mind on a floppy disk and had it set it so that when somebody else started fighting crime, like a vigilante, it would reactivate a program to open up the Batcave for that person.
Whoa.
And
Batman Protocol.
yeah, the Batman Protocol.
Order 66.
And so the Batman
he
AI,
specifically thought it
along
was
with
going to be one of Commissioner Gordon's like kids or something.
yeah,
because
which
he
is
gave
so
him the bat
weird.
suit.
He
But
predicted.
like, yeah,
Knew all
but,
along.
like, what if it wasn't? What if Jim Gordon's grandson turned out to be a huge piece of shit? Like,
Well, it wouldn't activate because he wasn't
He's
fighting
not
crime.
that great. I mean,
Well, those
he's
3D
that's a
okay.
pretty low threshold.
Yeah,
What if he
that
just
was
punches
really low.
somebody who's robbing a bank, and he doesn't have to be a good person to do that? It just the Batman thing opens up all of a sudden.
That's literally what he starts doing. He's like, I'm a vigilante now, and he literally just like goes up to people like, "Hey, stop what you're doing!"
Yeah.
and
And
he gets all over the news too.
yeah, he gets all over the news for
I
saying.
mean, to be
telling
fair, I
people
would
to
watch
stop.
that.
And he's just like, "I'm the Batman," and they're like, "The what?"
I also like that like Bruce bothered to code in digital Alfred. Like it's not just digital
Wow.
digital
well,
Bruce, but
he's not
Alfred's
just
there
digital.
too.
He's also a robot.
Yeah,
He
there's a
anticipates
Robo
not being
Robo
able to do
Alfred
anything
is actually
himself.
kind of
Alfred. Yeah, he needs someone.
adorably cute.
He needs someone to put his hollow meatloaf on or whatever. Like
Hollow loaf.
hollow loaf.
Ooh, is there
Real.
future loaf in that book?
They
Future loaf.
dwell very little on what people eat, which is one of those like they don't do a whole lot of world building. Like they draw a lot of Tron backgrounds and they say, oh, this is the district 586 of the city and there are robo police everywhere.
But, yeah,
they
they
spend
just
too much
use-
time on the interpersonal story that sucks and they don't do any world building.
They
They
actually
don't
use
eat
a lot of
rehydrated
photos of
pizza.
Japanese streets.
Maybe they didn't
Oh
expect
yeah,
to.
yeah, that's right. So that was one of the first things that Seb pointed out to me is she looked at one of the cityscapes and said, "This is just Japan." Like they didn't
Yeah,
even.
there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
signs in like kanji, and I'm like, wait, I thought Gotham was supposed to be like.
Is this set in
Chicago or
Gotham?
Yeah,
something.
Gotham is like Chicago.
Not
New Jersey.
Cyberpunk Gotham. Cyberpunk Gotham
Chicago,
has to
New
be
Jersey?
in an Asian
Yes,
country.
like it's like Chicago if Chicago was in New Jersey.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay.
Yes, it's like a weird mix of Americana, and the place doesn't always make sense.
Okay.
It's got a lot of Gothic architecture, and like that's
But then
something
it's
that
also
doesn't
like
really
industrial and dirty.
yeah. It's something that doesn't always translate well to a visual thing of like
Gotham stinks.
Gotham stinks. Yeah, like if somebody was spray painting Gotham stinks on a wall, you'd be like, that sounds about right. But for them to do it here, it's just like, this is just regular Tokyo. Like, this is just what Tokyo looked like in 1990, and for them to be like, this is what the future will look like, it's just like, okay.
Japan's the future.
It's honestly,
It
well,
actually
Japan
is.
does look very futuristic compared to here.
Yeah, but it's not even like.
Only if you're like in the middle of Tokyo.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But one of the other things is like, it's not even like one of those things where it's like, oh, you could narratively justify it and say like, well, Japanese is the predominant language or something. Like what they sort of do in Ghost in the Shell, the movie, where it's like, oh, well, everything's written in Chinese because it's like Chinese is what Mandarin is what the modern language is. Like all
That
the
happened in
signs.
the movie?
Yeah, that in the movie there's like all the architecture, all the signs, everything's Chinese.
Well, kanji is Chinese letters.
No,
I mean, characters.
I would be messing up my.
We
thought
discussed
kanji
this
was
about
Japanese.
We're messing up our lore.
Firefly.
Yes,
In Firefly, it's English and
Firefly
Chinese.
is English and Chinese, but also in the Ghost in the Shell movie, if I remember correctly, there is something about how China is more of a superpower and its culture has like sort of.
I think
encroached
I
on
remember
it.
the
say
holograms
China's
being a
number
little
one?
bit
Yeah, China number one.
Chinese-ish. like
Yeah.
with.
This
instead of wearing a
podcast will
kimono,
also
they wear-
eventually be owned by China. By accident, they won't know they have it.
I
Tencent
wish
will
China
buy
would
this
podcast.
podcast.
Well, they'll own it by default because they own America.
Well, we're gonna default on our loans.
Okay.
They're just gonna come and possess the country.
Yeah, we have Chinese
Sally
loans
Mae,
back in
a
this
Chinese
podcast.
company.
We've got some crazy Chinese money going on in the
Yeah,
background.
it's nuts. You should see the place.
Yeah, other people, they're like, okay, we gotta get Audible or Squarespace to pay for our setup, but
No,
I was just
no.
like, I'm gonna bypass that and go straight to Tencent.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
Yeah.
got.
I called up
Myanmar's-
China on the phone.
Don't forget to play PUBG Mobile, everyone.
Oh man, have we tried that yet?
No.
We should try that.
I think it's free.
I bet it is. It should be.
Next episode's
for
going to be on
sure.
all of our experiences with PUBG Mobile.
There's
Well,
a
I mean,
splash.
hey.
Actually, yeah, that
Yeah.
could be.
It's free, so that wouldn't be that difficult to do. Like, if you do want PUBG Mobile to be our next experience, like, would that be your pick, Alex? So if
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you wanted to do Gunbuster, so we get
Well,
an
we're
empty
going to do
cans
an episode where we sell out to Tencent. And then...
an episode.
oh, sorry, an entire series.
Yeah, that's the
entire
Tencent
podcast.
praising podcast where we just talk about
Talk
how
about how great Chinese gaming is.
Chinese gaming is so good. Why can't American gaming catch up? I
You know,
mean,
Perfect
Tencent
World
is so
the
good.
best MMO I've ever played.
Tencent is so good
It's
because, like,
perfect.
I
It's
reached
a
in my
perfect
pocket
world.
and I found 10 cents in there.
Yeah.
I think they.
They're so widespread.
It's pretty good.
insane.
Yeah. That's like.
Can't
that's
think
like,
anything
it shows
bad
you that
about
the company
10 cents.
philosophy works in a modern era.
The chapter breaks in this book are definitely Sonic Genesis.
Oh yeah, like
level,
they're the
Oh,
zone.
yeah.
level
It's
scripts.
like welcome to Digital Justice Zone.
Yeah, it's got like
Zone
the spikes
2.
on them. The
Acts 2,
jaggies.
that's what it is. There's
And,
also
like-
a splash page of Time magazine,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and when it has Batman on it, and it says "Is he back?" But at the bottom of the magazine, it just says "electronic" on it.
But no, read the
Is
disclaimer.
Batman
underneath
like-
I
that.
also read that.
What's the disclaimer underneath
Time in the red border design are registered trademarks of the Time Inc. magazine company, used with.
Oh well, it wasn't
used
Time Warner
with
at that
precision.
point.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, no, Time
'cause
bought
Warner
itself
wasn't
back
born.
in the meantime. We're gonna see that in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Huh.
Instead of the Time Warner AT&T thing that's about to happen and destroy all
Yeah,
media as we know it.
the title "Is He Back" is actually a reference to the Time Magazine Corporation, and
Yeah.
Time is back in Warner.
Also, Batman's eyes are green in this book, and I don't mean like his irises are green. I mean like on the suit where there would be the white eyes
Yes.
of the animated series, they're green. And I think that's to show that it's the future.
Yeah,
I
mean,
like it.
Cyber Eyes.
Digital is green because motherboards are green, right?
He also seems
Yeah.
to turn them on
I mean,
and off.
He does. Okay, so that makes.
Well,
sort
no,
of
but
sense.
they're like without any reason. Like in looking at 2 pages right now. In the beginning, his eyes are green.
Uh-huh.
In the middle, they're not green. And then
And
at the
then
end, they're green.
Max Headroom is the only news host.
I would watch.
I
Terrible.
wish he was.
Oh, that would be great.
Would you call that propaganda, or would you just call that like?
I'd call it the cream of the crop. You know, like
Progress.
it's capitalism. The
Cream of
best
the crop.
win, and the more bad people die. So
Uh-huh.
all other news hosts weren't good enough, so they died. But Max Headroom
See,
was
I just
very
thought
good.
that Max Headroom had eaten all of them.
Oh, well, he has so much room in his head that he can eat more.
If you eat the king, you are the king.
Yeah.
Those are the rules.
The ultimate rules.
So if someone eats us, they will become the least popular podcast on the internet.
Which,
So-
Most powerful.
let's not turn this into a forecast just yet. We'll get there.
Is that your other podcast?
That's gonna
Next
be my
episode, everybody.
Yeah.
suggestion is we all have to watch vor porn and then we'll come back with our
Our impressions.
Yeah.
I've already
impression.
done it, so I don't know, guys.
Well, we gotta catch up then if I want to be able to record. I'm gonna do the most research out of anybody. I promise.
All right.
Yeah.
You're
introductory.
gonna have to get an account on Second Life.
Oh,
created by
Let's review Second
John
Life,
Vore.
John Vore, named for John Vore.
Whoa, wait a minute.
So this is
Jason
John
Voorhees.
Voorhees.
this show is already too
Wait a
explicit to
minute.
recommend to like.
Wait, Jason Voorhees.
I don't think you're
Yeah.
actually.
Whoa.
Does his mouth even work anymore? You can't really
He
see
has
it.
to
from
eat
most-
all those kids at the camp. I'm pretty sure. He lives in the lake, so I imagine he.
Does he live there? or
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
he's got-
sure-
he's got a condo in the.
Pretty sure he lives in the lake, eats all the algae.
is he- Are you sure you're not thinking of the creature from the Black Lagoon?
No,
No,
yeah,
he probably filters the algae, right? He's got gills.
yeah, and then he fights that police captain in
Yeah.
Amityville.
Okay.
You know when
sounds
he
about
eats the boat and then they get a bigger one?
Okay, so this is.
What happens in that movie?
Yeah.
They eat the boat and
This
then he
is-
says, we're going to need a bigger boat,
This
so
is
they
our
buy a
this is
bigger
our
boat.
podcast. Every movie is the same, featuring our host Cam.
They're all the same.
I mean, honestly,
Movies is the
Movies
same.
is the
when's
same.
the last time you've seen a movie that wasn't the same?
I was watching Freddy vs. Jason the other day. Jason Voorhees in that one too.
I can't believe they brought him back. For
He's
that
in
one.
every movie.
Dude, I was watching Mighty Ducks and there were 2 people who looked like
Oh,
Jason
they're all
Voorhees in it.
cosplayed as Jason Voorhees in that movie.
I mean,
It's
honestly,
ridiculous.
Insane.
honestly, it
Honestly.
seems like a big waste of time to me.
I was
If all
watching-
the movies are the same.
They had this sport at the Olympics where everyone dressed up as Jason Voorhees.
Whoa.
Oh,
And,
knife throwing?
Yeah. No, swimming, dude.
Oh. Oh, because he lives in the lake.
Right. Yeah, and he wears
Yo,
the
I
skull
got the
cap.
winter chicken dinner and I didn't even have to play the game.
Wait, are you downloading it right now?
No, it's no, I'm looking at it on the store.
Oh, that's
And
how you
the
play the game.
description. It already says winter
It
chicken
says
dinner.
China #1.
Yeah.
That's the whole experience.
China #1.
Well, as long as you know China's #1 going in, you should not have a
Yeah.
problem.
Do you have 1,500 coins yet?
Are we?
wish.
Oh my god.
So, is our making fun of China going to transition into racism later on, or are we gonna like?
We'll
No,
get
I'm
there.
only
If we
making
get a
fun of
head
that
start on
one
racism
guy.
now, we can
Yeah.
really nail it
We
early
mean, we should get a lot of controversy out of the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
racism,
we need to get
right?
George on here.
We
So
don't want people
we're
to be
not racist.
surprised when they find out we're racist later. So if we just get it
Yeah,
out
we get
of
it
the
all
way.
out in front.
Logan
I
Paul,
did
if you
say-
have any advice on being unlikable, we could use it.
Yeah.
Also, if you have several $1 million you'd like to donate to our cause.
Well, Logan Paul's one of our biggest sponsors, isn't he?
Yeah, it's gonna be on the show soon. I've been talking to him.
You've been talking to him?
Yeah.
How's that video going where he shows his dick to the president?
Yeah, well, that we're trying to get like an orphanage in there somewhere
Oh, yeah.
that we can
We'll
really
be,
get.
we'll be
We
live
meet
from
him
the Team
at
10
the
house.
orphanage.
Team
Orphanage
10
prank,
house, dude.
gone sexual.
Wait a minute,
Logan
Team
Paul.
10, 10 cent.
Oh, yeah, see?
You know what
Team
I'm saying?
10 Cent.
Yeah, it all,
It kind of makes you think, really.
It kind of makes you think about Batman Digital Justice.
Oh yeah, this should have been 10 cents.
It really should.
How much did you pay
It's
for
only
this?
like $1.
Yeah, I paid $1 for that.
$1?
So, yeah, so that's 10 of 10 cents.
wow.
Wow,
And I
makes,
wonder-
gotta-
makes
she
you
got
think,
a ton of
dude.
Yeah. What they thought a computer would be like makes me laugh. Always makes me laugh. I always think about that when there's like a CSI episode or whatever, or like anything that has to do with video games. And like they're like, well, what's a video game
He's
like?
got the top score in the MMO.
Yeah.
I always, oh god,
Have you guys seen that X-Files episode where they go into the virtual reality thing?
no, I
No,
have not.
is
What-
that
Look up
from an original?
Mulder. Yeah, the original one. Mulder. Virtual reality.
I've seen the Murder She Wrote VR episode.
What?
That is, I'll pull that one
Oh,
up.
you know what? Oh no, there's a Gamergate episode of
Yeah.
CSI, that one's
and
insane.
Logan Paul is in it.
Yeah.
Makes you think.
Right, he's the
He's the
murderer in
villain.
that one.
Just
Which
like
is-
he is in real life.
That is
Yeah.
going to happen.
He's the murderer in real
so
life,
yes, the
too.
article I'm pulling up is a Wired.
You don't
article.
really need an article. You just have
No.
to Google image search
No,
it.
but I'm talking about the one that the Murder She Wrote VR experience. I want you to look at this.
Whoa.
That's actually pretty spot on.
Whoa, a huge ad.
You've
Oh,
read
shit.
half of your complimentary articles for the month.
Oh look! Don't put me on blast for this. Let me.
You're getting blasted.
we're getting
You
blessed.
only have 2 more free articles.
Why are you getting ads for the shoes that I want? Amazon's listening.
Amazon's listening to us talk about shoes.
Yeah, Amazon, if you want to send us free shoes, let's get those.
Yeah,
Like, yes.
Bill,
We were
Bill
just-
Jeff Bezos, get me a pair of shoes.
Hey Jeff Bezos, can you send me $10 billion?
Yeah, that's like.
I know you're not gonna miss it. I'm going to use it to fund
He
the arts.
probably wouldn't even notice it was gone.
Probably not.
He would not. Yeah.
No, he would notice that his bath was only half full.
Whoa, that was a huge bath, actually. The episode is called First Person Shooter. Fantastic name for it.
That is a
yeah,
fantastic name. Wait,
Oh, it came out in 2000,
Please.
so it probably looks like Doom.
Look at Mulder wearing
Oh
the tiniest
my God.
sunglasses
Is
in
he
the world.
Riddick? He looks.
Yo,
He's holding a,
No, he
His
looks like
little
JC
Neo-
a
Denton.
broadsword.
Yeah, we'll
Neo
pull that over here.
sunglasses.
Well, actually, he would be
You know, if you were a
ideal
part of the
cast
podcast,
for,
Alex, you could get in on this beforehand and not have to pause
ideal
Mario Odyssey
casting
for this.
for JC Denton.
Yeah.
Mulder from 20 years ago.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Mulder from 20 years ago.
Dude,
This
that's
is one of the
actually pretty
better
good.
images
Yeah.
in the episode.
what, this one?
Yeah, it's Mulder fighting 5 cowboys with a broadsword.
No. 5 cowgirls who are exactly the same person.
Yes.
Oh, that's realistic though. If I was making a video game episode, I would also reuse models.
If I was
Yeah.
Mulder,
Oh, yeah.
I would also fight 5 cowgirls. Probably.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But like,
Because you were too busy reading Batman Digital Justice.
I feel like that's the thing has served its purpose. Like that book has served its purpose in that it got us to talk about like silly things with it. Like we didn't have to go super in depth in it, explain the whole plot and everything because
Yeah.
there's so much. Like your eyes glaze over halfway through. You're like, okay, this.
I
it's
can't
got the
like.
blues and
I
purples.
like to read comic books, not as much as Nick, but I cannot begin to read this. It sounds like a fake complaint, but there are too many words in this book.
There are too many words.
each
There's a lot
each
of like
speech
useless
bubble
conversations.
has like full paragraphs in it, like
It's
2
because
sentences
They gave
per.
one person too much creative control. I bet that guy did not have to go through a single editor.
Is
They're
this
like,
the photo you were talking about? That's just Tokyo.
Yes, that's an example, but there are other ones too.
Yeah.
When they do big city shots, it's like oh they
Yeah,
just traced
what does
over a
that
picture of
even say?
Tokyo.
It says, what is this one?
Here,
Seb
I'm
is
just gonna hand
translating
it
the
to you.
text for us with her
I
expert
can't read
knowledge of
katakana
Japanese.
yet.
Whoa!
I
It
can
says
read hiragana.
right here. It says China #1.
Ooh.
Okay, so
what's the lore on that?
If
What
we
says
if we
Takao?
weren't getting enough ads for PUBG Mobile beforehand, we are getting them now.
If
Well,
you
we're
say it right
sponsored by
into the
PUBG
mic.
Mobile.
Yeah, we are.
Go download
We
the
can say
game.
it. Player unknown. He's gonna be on an episode.
Yeah.
We're getting him
Our
on.
best friend Brendan Green is gonna come on. He's gonna tell
Who's
us.
that?
He's a certain unknown player. I don't know.
Oh, I
I've
don't.
heard of him.
That's
Does he
Unknown to
battle
me.
on the ground?
Well, he owns some ground in which.
Oh, he's a
Battles
he's a
are-
landowner.
Yes.
And they play a video game there, or like,
I need to brush up on
I
my
wouldn't
game.
call it a game.
so he's on vacation on an island of sorts.
Yeah.
He took
It's
a
kind of
plane.
like Lost. You ever see that show?
Oh no.
Oh, alright.
Uh-huh.
Why doesn't Lost have a video game episode?
I'm pretty sure that's the whole show, isn't it?
Yeah, they zoom out and it's Mulder, and he's like, "Whoa, what a weird VR game."
You know, one of the things I almost picked for my topic for this episode, I should mention this is the stupid thing. The reason that everyone is talking about how much they hate digital justice, except for Alex, who did not even bother.
You looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
because,
looked at it when I.
it's
I
because when we
pointed it
formatted
at you.
this podcast, we're like, well, each week one person should pick, and then everyone else will, like, you know, sort of see what they are enjoying. Because we recommend each other things all the time, and nobody ever listens to it. But now that we have a show based around it, it's like, hey, I'll understand the kind of things that you read all day. And now nobody has any respect for me anymore.
Well,
if they did before.
We should say that we're not going to use things that are bad every time.
Yeah, this is just, I thought this would be a good example because of how silly it was.
Bad things are easier to talk about. I would like to keep the things short. Like, this
Yeah.
book is...
Sakura.
It's not that bad. It's one book. I definitely could read it, but I will not.
Yes.
It could have been read.
I will not
Yeah.
read this book.
I am dreading the day that someone picks an album because I'm going to have nothing to talk about. I have no idea of
Okay.
anything
You
about
can
music.
say the songs were good.
Now listen.
That makes for riveting
Listen.
podcasting.
This place is called Sakura-ya Japanese Mart, Japanese
dude.
grocery store, which actually has stores throughout New York.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
okay. So it's not even
stolen-
Trace Japan, it's Trace New York.
So
Yeah,
that,
But
well, that's
I
what I'm
feel
saying,
like
that
with the
kinda-
amount of Japanese writing around here, it is probably actually in Japan.
Okay. Well, I mean, we do have American
Unless
grocery
there's a
stores
Japantown in...
Not for long, though. Not
in
with Tencent
Queens.
on the rise.
There is a
That's true.
town in...
Japanese grocery store with fresh fish. Nice. Gotham has fresh fish.
Whoa.
In Neo Gotham.
Oh, God.
Neo-Goth?
Wait, is it actually Neo Gotham? I didn't remember them doing that.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't think they actually changed the name of the city, although that is my
I thought you
favorite
were there.
stupid...
Yeah, that's a lesser known
I bet they
trick.
totally would,
You get
though.
the moon with your powers.
You
as
get
well.
the moon magnet.
E-Gotham.
E-Gotham.
No.
I got it.
Yeah, in 1990 it would be E-Gotham.
Is it
Oh,
E-Gotham?
Because
that's good.
it's electronic.
That's
No,
really
they
good.
wouldn't even short it to E. It would
And
just
if it was
be
made in
Electronic Gotham.
And if it was made in 2005, it would be I-Gotham.
I got.
I got them. I, he, she, me.
You got them.
Got them.
So
We all got them.
I was actually thinking about when I was trying to decide on what to pick for the first episode of this. One of the things I considered showing you guys was another Batman thing, the episode of the animated series where the Riddler makes a video game, because it's the same sort of thing.
Oh, and he
where
makes a ton of money from his video game.
Yeah.
Video game. When
It
you make a
becomes
video
you can
game,
smash it.
yeah, it's
when
got.
he
It's
gets
got.
he gets fired from his work for hire contract.
Well, what a lot of people don't know is the Riddler's secret identity is Toby Fox. Look it up.
Edward Nygma, alias Toby Fox.
Edward
What
T.
people don't know is
Fox.
that the Riddler loves Homestuck. And that's why he's so
Oh,
evil.
Yeah.
Wow, that's true.
Oh shit.
Oh, man. And listeners, if you're confused about what Homestuck is, I'm not going to tell you.
I don't think anybody doesn't know what
Homestuck
Homestuck
is when you
If
take
you're
potatoes.
listening to
and you,
this
like, cook
podcast
them.
and you don't know what Homestuck is, please leave a comment telling us that you don't know what Homestuck is.
Please email Andrew Hussey
Pause
and
the podcast.
tell him that you don't know what Homestuck is and ask him to explain it to you.
No, email Octopimp because apparently everyone thinks that he makes Homestuck.
What, for real?
No, there was a
Octopimp
point.
Octopimp is the only person who plays the same team I do in Dragon Ball.
The only one who doesn't make
Really?
Homestuck.
No,
yeah,
no.
he's the exact
Whoa,
same one.
you
The
know
only
what?
one who doesn't make
It's-
Homestuck.
So
You know, when you
he
think
used
about
to
it,
be
Homestuck
like.
is truly like.
Well, Homestuck's a state of mind. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
Homestuck is made by
Homestuck
the
is just
people
being
around
stuck
us.
at home.
Yeah.
Right, I'm
Like-
Homestuck right now.
I'm home unstuck right now, but I
We're
could be
going,
homestuck if
where
I
am I
wanted
going?
to.
A couple of us are going to a convention later this weekend, and I am not going to be able to stop thinking about this stupid Homestuck conversation if I see just one person with horns.
You'll see like several. They travel in
Oh
packs.
my god.
They do. But this is a video game convention, not like a
It doesn't
not
matter.
like an anime or
It doesn't
comic
matter.
book one.
There was supposed
Cam's
to be a
showing off how
Homestuck.
much
here.
Chunky is
Homestuck's
in
a video
Mario.
game. Yeah, I actually just got Bowser.
Are
and
you
gave me all the
gonna
moves.
move to the point where you just call everything Undertale?
Well, I was playing a game recently. It was Friday the 13th, the video game, and Jason was in it.
Well, he's in everything.
I was like, come on! He's in all of these. It's ridiculous.
Jason Voorhees, if you'd like to be on our show, please
Yeah,
let
can
us
we get Jason
let us
Voorhees
know.
on?
If you
We've
want
got
to be
that kind of pull. We got the money.
He's doing anything now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason, he's just picking it up any job he can. I bet he owes a lot of money to his ex-wife.
Look, I was...
His Jason ex-wife.
Nice. Oh, shit.
Mrs. Jason Voorhees.
Girl Voorhees.
They made the Bishojo statue of Jason Voorhees. Like, that's something that is...
Excuse me.
Yes, they did. Well, it's one of the things where they're like, well, if we turn any mascot into a sexy girl, people will buy a statue of it. And so NECA, or, oh god, whoever owns the, like, toy rights to Jason, must be New Line, right? Are they even still around? Anyway, whoever it is, they were like, yeah, you just...
Tencent, yeah, it does own it.
Actually, she's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's
Got a
not a
5%
bad...
stake in
Jason Voorhees is even in Seb's phone right now. He's in all of them.
The place I draw the line is at, like, Sexy Chucky, which they also made a figure of, and that is...
They made a movie of that.
That's what all those movies
What
are
is that,
about,
like,
right?
the
Bride of Chucky.
Chucky.
But Chucky was also in that movie. This is just a female version of Chucky.
Oh, I'm
She
watching
doesn't
it right
look
now,
dead
and
enough.
Jason Voorhees is in Bride of Chucky.
Oh, there's also a who's that? Freddy.
Freddy?
There's
Freddy
a girl,
Krueger?
Freddy.
Well, that's cool because
I
Freddy
kinda
is
like
known
the
for
Jason
molesting people, so
I am going to...
it's kind of cool to have a cute molester.
I'm going to get way
Yeah.
too personal here
Somebody-
for
She's hot.
the
Somebody else
listeners.
talk.
I clearly have a problem, at least in my personal life, because I had a girlfriend right out of college, and she thought...
And
Freddy
you know what? I'm on her Facebook page.
She thought Freddy Krueger was
she
what?
was Jason Voorhees.
So, I had a girlfriend right my freshman year of college.
You went to
and
Crystal Lake College?
Yeah, dude. And she thought Freddy was, like, oh man, she thought he was so hot. I'm like, that's weird and wrong. Like, this
Yeah,
fucked
that's
up having
really
a lot of burns
weird.
and
He's
everything.
known for
But,
molesting
yes.
Was
children.
that the one
Yes,
who took
that's
your teeth?
That is the one who took my teeth.
Okay.
Story for another show.
Dentist.
But on top of that, my current girlfriend, who is amazing and I love her very much, but she's never gonna listen to this, so she's not gonna care that I tell this
I'm gonna
story.
send it to
She's
her.
like, she's like, oh yeah, I always thought Jason was hot. And I'm like, where's left for me to go? Like,
He's very tall.
yeah, now I just have to date someone who thinks the Predator is hot.
Yeah.
Well, I
Weird if
mean,
someone
they
did
did
that.
put boobs on the Predator in that.
Oh my god, that's.
Oh.
I do have some AVP comics that I would never force anyone to read because.
I was playing as the Predator in Mortal Kombat X,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
I go down the character select. Jason was in that.
This is getting out of hand.
I can't
believe it.
When do I cut it off? We've been recording for a little longer than 40 minutes.
All right, that's good.
I plan to
What?
cut it off at half an hour.
Go somewhere else.
Too many Jason jokes.
Anyone want to sign
You're
off?
banned from Mario Odyssey.
If you like this video, subscribe, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah,
and
also
Google
tell us
Plus.
how you found it on video.
Yeah,
Please tell us
smash
how you
that like
found
button.
this. We haven't posted it anywhere, so if you found this, please tell us how, and we'll delete it.
Report it, yeah.
Like our mobile game on the App Store.
It's called
we need upvotes.
PUBG. Jason's in it.
Report this podcast for violations of something. Not sure what yet, but I'm sure we broke some rules.
Oh, we talked about war.
We did talk about
Yeah.
more. That should
We
get us
talked
banned from
about
at least every.
Voorhees.
That should at least get us banned
There's
from
so
iTunes.
much
if
war in
nothing else.
this.
I was scrolling down the podcast feed and I listened to this show and Jason Voorhees is in it.
It's insane.
It's
Turn it up.
crazy.
Okay, this has been. All right, this
has been Jason Voorhees.
This has been Jason Voorhees.
This Vorcast.
Please don't listen
Whoa,
to this. Your life
the
depends on it.
Vorcast. Wait.
No.
Like forecast.
No.
Okay.
Forecast.
We've had enough of you for one podcast recording session.
The listeners can turn me off.
It's gonna be they can't if they want to listen to the rest of us. Well, I guess they could turn everyone off.
Yeah.
That would probably be the solution to this.
They could turn the whole
Speaking of turning
podcast
us off, this has been Please Don't Listen to This. Your life depends on it. Signing out.
Next,
See you next.
next
Speaking
week,
of word
Gunbuster
choice.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, next time
Gun
it's
Blaster,
gonna be
Gun
Alex
Booster.
who has
Next
been
week we're
complete-
gonna watch Mega Man Gunbuster.
Next week we're going to be talking about the
No, it's
PUBG
called a
mobile
Mega
app,
Blaster.
Tencent, China, and you.
Completely different than this
Next week,
episode.
Jason Voorhees will be killing us all.
All
All right.
You know, I was
See you guys
checking
later. Thanks
next
for
week.
listening.
Bye,
Bye.
Seb. Find me.
Oh, you want to do
I
plugs?
do art. It's Seblaze on Twitch. Bye. Okay, bye.
All right. This is the plugs portion. I'm just gonna tell everybody.